Flamio Hotman. Welcome to the Bad Reading Podcast. I'm Atlas Novak.
I'm Nick Kane.
And I'm Kat Moore.
Kat Moore, the first woman guest on this podcast.
Ooh.
Glass ceiling broken, everybody.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, we're 3 episodes in, so this is going to be a relatively sad milestone. But Bad Reading, the podcast where we read terrible fan fiction and make fun of it. So why don't we go ahead and pick something? Kat, what is something you are into?
Well, what I was always super into, and I still go back and rewatch every other year or so, is Avatar: The Last Airbender.
That is a great show to rewatch.
It's amazing.
Nick, have you seen Avatar: The Last Airbender?
Yeah, I grew up in Nickelodeon.
Everybody who was born during the Clinton
it's one
era.
of the greatest TV shows of all time. It's back in the day before M. Night Shyamalan did.
The movie does not exist within the walls.
Yep. Let's all move on from the movie. Yeah.
Yeah. I remember
What
kids
movie?
used to.
There is no movie.
There's no movie.
There's no movie.
No movie.
Oh, okay.
The movie doesn't
It
exist.
was erased.
Right. No, I remember it was.
What a twist.
Yeah. It was one of my favorite shows on Nickelodeon. It was I always wanted to be a firebender so I could just light stuff on fire.
I was a firebender, yeah. My
yeah?
brother and I sat down and we sorted everyone that we knew into different bending classes. And
Love
if
it.
we didn't like them, they didn't get a bending power. Like, they're powerless.
You
Terrible.
mean nothing to me. You're a sucker.
Right.
Um,
But Sokka, ironically, does mean everything
yeah.
to me.
I always thought of myself as an earthbender because I thought Toph was awesome.
You would be an earthbender.
Oh,
You're just,
yeah.
solid,
I mean,
pretty steady guy.
This is pre-puberty, so no. I was a somehow skinny yet fat child. It was I had no shoulders and all stomach. Hooray!
Yeah, but that's where the earthbending comes from, man. You're beefy. You're stout. You come from the base of your. That's your chi. What's the chi?
That's right.
No, you got it. You did chi. It's the
Chi.
thing. The sea of chi.
I think they talked about chakras specifically in Avatar.
They do during
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So we're talking. If you haven't figured it out by now, we're talking about Avatar: The Last Airbender, the Nickelodeon show, and not the fucking Blue Smurfs. Okay, it's not. This is the most annoying thing that happens when I talk to people. I'm like, "Hey, have you seen Avatar?" They're like, "You mean the James Cameron movie?" No, not the James Cameron movie.
Does everyone hate that movie now, or is it still?
No. People love the movie. I fucking hate the movie because I have to explain myself.
I did hate it for that reason. I do feel like Avatar, just as a side note, people eventually got over how pretty it was and realized that the story wasn't interesting, and so it's gotten some backlash
Yeah.
recently.
I mean, I don't just. You know what the worst part is? Avatar: The Last Airbender, also pretty pretty. Good
It was
animation,
very
yeah.
nice. Mm-hmm.
And it's just a show that, like you said, I'll go back and rewatch it every year. And then, actually, recently there was a new piece of content where somebody wrote a novel about Avatar Kyoshi, who was the Avatar 2 Avatars before Aang, and it's about her like coming up. And I read it, and it's amazing.
Nice.
But that's actual canon, and was like okayed by
Like a Doctor Who novel, like they wrote.
kind of
Okay.
yeah. So they like commissioned this guy to write the novel, and it's now part of the Avatar canon, and I'm completely
Part of the
okay with
lore.
it. At the same time, there are many people out there who write fan fiction about everything, and we're gonna read one of those terrible ones.
Well, wait. I do have to ask. So Kat, why do you love Avatar so much?
All right, so a couple different reasons. One, just in case anyone who's listening isn't familiar with Avatar, because it's a highly specific program that's probably going to come up in the fan fictions. It's set in a world where everyone gets, you either are a firebender, bender means you have the power to basically just manipulate it, a waterbender, an airbender, an earthbender, or you're just a guy or a girl, that's fine too. You can still pick up a sword and join in on the phone.
Be a non-bender.
fun.
On the phone, yes.
On the phone, you can call into the battles, And it's about this. Been this war for about 100 years because the Fire Nation attacked an innocent Air Nation who had no war or no fight and were always peaceful. And the savior of the world is the Avatar, who goes missing right when everything goes terribly bad. And then this show starts out where he resurfaces. I don't know why I can't talk today. But I think
Great thing when we're doing a podcast. Great.
so. What I think I like, the reason I like the show much, one, I love a ragtag group of misfits. It's one of my favorites. Tropes of all time, so gotta have that in there.
Yeah.
But two, I like shows where the characters are allowed to be children, where it's like, it's a plot-heavy show, they're trying to save the world, but they also do take time out to ride penguins like sleds, or like Sokka goes on a shopping trip when he wins a pretty belt so that he can get a bag that matches it. And I like it when you can have a show that's interesting but allows the characters to have fun as well.
It didn't take itself too seriously.
Right.
Like,
it could have.
It was a kid's show, which is also annoying because when you try and pitch this to people to go watch it, they're like, "What? It's a show on Nickelodeon. It's a kid's show. I pay a mortgage." So like, it's definitely one of the more well-written things I've seen, and I don't think I appreciated it enough as a kid. Because as a kid, I was like, I liked it, but I liked SpongeBob more. Now as an adult, I'm like, fucking Avatar was lightning in a bottle.
I can't believe it took them that long to make a show with the concept, though. I think every kid pretends that they can manipulate water in the pool all the time. So it was great to watch that become actualized.
Yeah, and the villain in the show has an amazing arc as well.
The best redemption, one of the best, most well-done redemption stories I've ever seen.
Same. Yeah. That would be Prince Zuko, who goes from being the enemy of Aang the Avatar to teaching him how to firebend.
Right.
So,
and this character, like he's angst.
Spoilers for a over 10-year gap. By the way.
Spoilers. Yeah, he's an angsty dude.
Teenager. Yeah.
Everyone like called him like an emo kid. But like, if you kids are listening, emo used to be a thing. I don't know if it is still a thing, but it's
so.
But emo was a thing, and like you had long hair and you had like eyeliner, and
that was a burn mark.
You liked Fall Out Boy. No, I mean he's that kind of dude. I'm describing emo.
Shout out to Avatar though for being one of the only cartoons where it shows haircuts changing and hair growing.
Oh yeah.
Over the series.
It wasn't just like all the characters.
Like
were
he got
the
a
same
haircut
thing all
and
the
his
time.
hair grew back slowly. Over the rest of the next season.
And like the characters change outfits and stuff.
Yeah, but this guy.
Once a season they change outfits.
Something like that. Well, I mean, like the kind of thing where, mostly.
Yeah, this and Zuko, like he's like, he has like all the things that happen to him. Like the reason why he's so angsty, it's like it's all justified because it's like his families hate him, and he has to go on this. Never-ending quest to catch the Avatar.
Well, no, it's basically a snipe hunt. His dad is the Fire Lord, who is the one basically now taking over the family legacy of murder and war.
Yeah.
And throws out his kid and puts him on. Nobody thinks he's ever going to find the Avatar.
Because the Avatar has been missing for 100 years, and the whole reason they're after the Avatar is because the Avatar is the only person in the world who can bend all four elements. And then when the Avatar dies, they're reincarnated into the next nation in the cycle. So if an Avatar is born a waterbender, and then they do their thing, then they die, then they're born an earthbender and a firebender, and so on.
Right.
So what the story...
is difficult to summarize.
What?
This is a hard thing to summarize quickly.
Because there's so much to do. It kind of reminds me of like that picture from It's Always Sunny where it's Charlie being like, Pepe Silver. Like you're like, I fucking love this show. I have to tell you everything.
Can we talk about the mail, Mac? I really want to talk about the mail.
That's... I call that the nerd Hulk when you're trying to explain something to someone without kind of info dumping everything on them at once. That also happens on like first dates where like, what are you what kind of TV shows do you like? Don't say Avatar, don't say Avatar, don't say Avatar.
Man.
You know?
One time someone was like, so what's your favorite season? And I said, of what? Not thinking about fall and summer and winter in any way. Just immediately assume they meant what season of television.
Yeah, I know.
Is your favorite.
It's been ruined forever.
Or is it book 1? Is it book 2? Or is it book 3?
A little bit. I did love it that they, instead of season 1, they did book 1. A little pretentious, as it always is when you treat TV like it's a book. But I thought it worked well.
Yeah, but like the thing I love about the show, and this will be the last thing, the show is amazing at writing characters that like you would know because like it's kind of disturbing how well like these characters are so fleshed out. Like there's characters that you meet like, oh dude, I know a guy like that. Like or I know a girl that acts like that. She's kind of quirky, and it's kind of. It's weird how like the conflict is. It's not so much like a. It's so relaxed, but it's good. I don't know what else.
No, it does a great job of having like a really fantastical kind of story, but with really human, fleshed out, relatable characters. No, I gotta stop. I love the show too much.
Yes.
Fucking go watch it after this if you haven't already. And then if you're looking for it, I know it's on Netflix in Canada if you have a VPN. So this episode brought to you by NordVPN, which it isn't.
It is? It is? We have a sponsor?
I wish we did. But in the meantime, I would like to introduce you to this fan fiction about Avatar. And instead of being about like Aang and his group of people, or Korra, the Avatar after Aang, and her group of people, this is just about the Avatars in general. Because one thing I'm worried about on this show is all the stories are going to be about people fucking each other. Because that's every fan fiction usually ends up with someone fucking each other. But another kind of archetype you see a lot is the, what if we take the main character who's good and make him bad?
Oh, that can be so well done.
So
I'm ready.
The thing that this story is about is another Avatar is born after Korra.
Oh, what?
And he's a dick. So
What?
Yeah.
I don't even get to. Okay, well, it's called bad fan
how
fiction.
this is going to work is Nick and I are going to go back and forth reading the things,
All
and
right.
we can.
At the end, I want to
Yeah.
tell you guys about the worst. I read fan fiction.
Yeah.
I read it all the time growing up, and I want to tell y'all later about the worst Avatar fan fiction there is.
Ooh, that's going to be fun for the
You can't
end.
read it on the podcast. It's too graphic, but
Oh,
I'll
it
tell
is?
you guys about it later.
What do you mean too graphic? Our first episode is about George Costanza and Jerry
Do you want me to
Seinfeld.
skip to what the
Fuck.
fan fiction is about?
Sure.
So I was 13.
Yeah.
And I was messing around on my computer, and I was reading, I think I was reading Zuko and specifically and Iroh fan fictions, because I like and.
Oh, okay.
Ampersand?
Okay.
Yeah, ampersand.
Yeah.
Because I like a good family story. I do. I
Yeah.
like the family drama. It was part of the reason something I liked about the show. I like that the uncle was his father figure. I was like, this is excellent.
Mm-hmm.
And then that little voice in my head was like, I wonder. And I, almost against my own will, I went over and I clicked the filters to mature, and I changed it to Zuko/Iroh. And there is one. There's one. And I was like, don't click on it. Don't click
Oh,
on it.
no.
And I did. And I have not, that was I haven't recovered. It was over 10 years
so
ago.
that's why you're a comedian now. Okay.
I had to do something with that trauma.
That makes sense. Okay. All right. Yeah. That.
And then I showed it to all my friends so that they could also be traumatized.
10 years passed, and I showed up on a podcast. And,
That's right.
you know,
I need everyone
Airbender
on
named
the
Aang.
planet
Yeah.
to also be traumatized so that I can start to eventually heal.
This isn't necessarily traumatizing, just kind of hilarious.
No, I'm excited.
So this is called Bad Avatar, and it is by Jal Pari on fanfiction.net, which we will put the link to in the show notes, so you can go read it for yourself if you want. And it's Bad Avatar by Jal Pari. The new Avatar has been a bad boy. Here's what happens next.
Oh
Is
my
this a summary
God.
or have we started?
This is his tagline. This is the, like, next time. It's personal. But, like,
All right.
like the shit you see under the
Coming
title.
in hot.
Yeah, and then it looks at the top. It says A/N. I think he's like explaining himself. He says the short one shot was sparked from a comment I made on an Instagram post that turned into a hilarious thread. The Instagram post was by Avatar Angkora on March 13th. The same image, it's a screenshot of a Tumblr exchange, is available at the following link. Just go check it out for yourself if you want. And then, this turned out longer and more satisfying than I thought it would be, and that line sounded dirtier than I intended, LMAO. The story hasn't started yet.
Well, okay. I'll let a young author put in his little notes in the beginning. If he does parentheses and puts them in the story, I can't. That's unacceptable. But
All right. Uncle Iroh! Iroh jumped in his seat in alarm as a booming, terrified, and panicked voice screamed his name. The voice was soon followed by a flustered Aang running towards him, arms flailing about, eyes widening more and more with every second. Uncle Iroh, you must come. Calm down, my boy. You're scaring everyone at the table. Aang looked around and quickly and saw several spirits staring at him, bewildered by the sudden intrusion into their weekly tea party. I'm sorry, but you really need to come. You need a soothing cup of jasmine tea. Here, Iroh poured him a cup. No, we really don't have the time. What happened? What has made you so frantic?
very dramatic.
Yes.
There you go.
I'm
Yeah,
super invested now.
it's Aang's eyes darted about, and then he leaned in and whispered into Iroh's ear, "It's Kyoshi."
How did you build an entire scene just from sipping that cup? That's what I want to know.
You asked me to?
You sucked me in right there.
Oh,
See?
yeah.
I told you.
I even have like the milk mustache on top of my regular mustache.
Yeah.
It's happening. What does she do now? Iroh sighed. Did she taunt Yang Chen into another duel? I swear to all the spirits that Yang Chen makes scrumptious fruit pies, but all her other monk training goes out the window when Kyoshi... Oh no! Aang interrupted. It's much, much worse than that. Aang bit his lips. Oh, Iroh was truly intrigued now. Really? You need to come with me, Aang nodded, and began leading the way. So he's from the Earth Kingdom. Yep. Kuruk nodded hazily. And he's bad. Yep. Kuruk took another drag. So I guess weed exists in the Avatar universe now? That's what's happening?
Yeah, it enhances their chakras. So like they have even more control over
It's
their
so
Avatar
open.
state.
His chakras have never been more open.
Yeah. To those who don't know, Avatar Kuruk is an avatar like long before Aang's time. So anytime that I bring someone up that's not Aang, it's going to be a past avatar. Iroh is not a past avatar, but everyone else is.
Okay.
We're in the spirit world right now?
Yes.
Okay.
So I assume everyone's dead.
That wasn't real... Okay, I got it.
Yeah, we're in the spirit world. All right. Oh my, that's not going to be pleasant. Roku frowned and shook his head. Perhaps, Kuruk shrugged and laid back. Here, he offered Roku the joint. No thanks, Roku shook his head. I hate that they don't really tell you who's talking, and I can't really tell myself. Okay. I wasn't offering. I need you to light another one for me.
In the spirit world, with our spirit joints.
With our spirit joints.
And our spirit fire.
Yeah. Kuruk mumbled lazily as he counted the clouds. So he's going like, I need you to light another one. 76, 77, 78. But you fucking doing it or not? 79. Oh, Roku rolled his eyes. Why do you always forget that we can't bend in the spirit world? Okay, so that's a thing. How high are you? Kuruk chuckled and sat up again. Of course we can't bend. Watch. Roku watched as Kuruk swayed side to side, his arms floating around him, and made whooshing sounds. See? Kuruk popped his eyebrows. I can bend. You're not bending, Kuruk. Roku pursed his lips and and gave him a deadpan look. Well then, how is this water ring circling your head, huh? There is no water ring around me, Kuruk. Really? Really? Whoa. Kuruk gasped and laid back once more. This is some good shit. He looked at the unlit joint in his hand and smiled. Just then, they heard two people approach them hastily. Roku, Kuruk, Aang called out. What are you still doing here? I thought I told you to go stop her while I get Uncle. We were going to, but what, Avatar Roku? Avatar smirked. I was just... Roku cleared his throat and rubbed the back of his neck. I thought I should wait. He's too scared to interrupt Kyoshi. Kuruk began giggling and went on giggling, even as the rest of them walked away. So he's going... They're walking away.
Wait, I forget, was Kuruk the super chill water avatar?
Yeah. And they expand on him more in the Kyoshi book, and he kind of sucks, honestly.
Yeah, he had his girlfriend her face got stolen by the face stealer.
Yeah,
Ko,
I
the
thought he
face
got
stealer.
super serious after that. I guess now that he's dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, he was like the one avatar. It's like, yeah, my life was pretty chill. Didn't really do anything, and yeah, that one thing happened to me, and yeah, I didn't really do much about it. I just had all these cool powers.
It's my kind of avatar.
Yeah, that's a great avatar. Like, I want to hear about his life. Like, someone's like so not like likable at all. Or so, I just surfed, man. I didn't save anybody.
It's not my fault. I was born with a bunch of powers.
I was born with such privilege, man. I was born with avatar privilege.
I wonder if that's a thing. Like,
probably is.
If it ever got to the modern day. I seriously recommend reading The Rise of Kyoshi because they kind of go into Kuruk's whole deal.
Have you read all of the background?
I'm one of those people who, after he goes to a movie, looks up the IMDb trivia.
I did read the post-series comic books.
Yeah. So, like, just Avatar is one of those worlds where like, man, I wish I could fucking live there, you know? Stop getting bullied in middle school. All that good stuff.
I don't know. They had powers, but, like,
man.
they also had carts.
Yeah.
You gotta push a cart someplace.
Yeah, but you could, like, earthbend your way to stuff.
If I was an earthbender,
Yeah.
I could always just be a person. Now I'm walking.
I always wondered why they're like, oh, man, earthbenders have to be rooted to the ground. I'm like, why can't you break a chunk of rock that you're standing on out of the ground and just, because you can levitate Earth. So just
Oh, yeah.
have, like, a hoverboard, basically. They never did anything like that. I'm surprised.
Well, they have to airbend it. Like, they have to airbend that Earth piece up. So that's why they're always rooted to the Earth, right?
Well, it's not that they're lifting this chunk of rock with their earth bending.
Right, but like they all they can do is like bang it up because like they shoot it up, but like they can't
I've
make
seen
it
them
levitate.
lift it, but only
Yeah.
when they're on the ground. It's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like holding it up, or
Someone must have tried.
That's a total
Yeah.
airbending move right there, just to fly around on a surfboard.
I'd
like, in the air.
probably be that kind of weirdo. They're like, what the fuck is he doing? He's like, what are you doing? I just saw Back to the Future. What is Back to the Future? We have carts and animal hybrids.
And cabbages.
What's a movie?
I love
You
the
know?
animal hybrids.
Me too.
I love it. Platypus bear, excellent.
Gopher bear?
Just
All
Bear.
the bears, even bear.
This place is weird.
all right. Let's see. Doesn't want to interrupt Yoshi. So, Aang began. How are we going to? I mean, what are we going to? Don't fret, my boy. Iroh smiled. I'm sure we can reason with them. Roku and Aang glanced at each other nervously. Copy editing. Both had a knowing look on their face. Uncle Iroh hadn't spent as much time in their side of the spirit world, and as he did with the other tea-loving spirits. They spoke to each other silently with just their eyes.
It's taking a while to get going.
I know, right?
This is
Yeah.
this is a.
I thought this was an urgent situation.
I know.
Aang.
Yeah. Now they're just like
Now we're just smoking joints and hanging out.
speaking each other with their eyes, and then they start kissing. No,
Got it. I got it. He
all
gave me
right.
a hole.
So now this next thing is in italics. So we're hearing. I assume it's somebody's thoughts.
Okay.
This translates into reading super well. Should we tell him? Maybe he will be able to talk her out of it. Really, Aang? Why not? How do you know Kyoshi? So this is their conversation, but in...
Wait, is this a thought bubble thing?
I guess so, but they don't
Oh.
really say.
Okay, then I have to do the thought bubble sound effect. Hold on.
Nice.
Should That's good. Should we tell him? Maybe he will be able to talk her out of it. Really, Aang? Why not? Do you not know Kyoshi? But Uncle is the best. Haven't I told you how he helped Zuko? Maybe he can help now as well. You truly are an eternal optimist. Roku sighed, prompting Iroh to turn toward him with a questioning look on his face. Were you about to say something, Avatar Roku? Oh. He glanced at Aang quickly, who just shrugged. No. Nothing at all. There. Aang pointed ahead.
This is very oddly written.
I know,
This is
right?
Really, like, I'm having trouble following what's going on.
This is the story
So
equivalent
from
of a
what I
line
can
at
tell
the
so
DMV.
far,
Yeah.
Aang ran in and interrupted Iroh's weekend hang with his spirit buddies drinking tea.
Yeah.
Okay.
He had to go. They both went up. We cut to Roku and Curran. Only Avatar Roku is referred to as Avatar Roku, which seems odd when they're all avatars
Yeah,
to me.
they're all avatars.
So why? So we feel. I mean, I feel like we should drop the titles and we're all dead.
Maybe it's like how you
We
address
cut
people.
to them. They're just smoking. They're hanging out. They don't know anything that's going on. Aang has now entered the room. Iroh is still not here yet. I don't know where Iroh
Yeah.
went.
So
Wally?
I assume there's the room with Iroh.
I thought Iroh was supposed to follow Aang.
I love your explanation of what's going on.
How
I
is
was
it
trying
we're-
to track it.
I'm
You know what
trying
I'm
to track it too, and I'm sitting here with the
And
computer
now,
trying to read
we're
it.
talking, and there's a bad situation.
Yeah.
And soon we're gonna see the bad avatar, who I think is a woman, if I've been understanding it right.
possibly.
Keep saying she. I can't tell if that's
Well,
Kyoshi or the bad Avatar.
They were talking about, like, something's happening with Kyoshi.
Why doesn't she get to be Avatar Kyoshi? I don't know why I'm so upset about only Roku being called Avatar Roku.
Well, I mean...
No, you should be. That's weird.
In that particular case,
'Cause he's
he
old?
says, were you about to say something, Avatar Roku, he's talking to him.
No, he's done it like a... Yeah, but...
Yeah.
The reason I'm called Avatar.
No one's saying, well,
Oh,
Avatar Aang. Oh, what do you think, Avatar? These are terrible. What a terrible conversation that would be.
Wait, keep
The
going.
reason I'm called Avatar Roku is because, I funded the Avatar movie.
Is that right? Is that why? Why?
Love it.
Why is it called Avatar Roku? I don't know.
I mean, they're all...
That's his name, and he's the Avatar.
Yeah, it's like a doctor.
You know what's funny about Avatar Roku is like whenever he's on whenever he was on the show, Aang was always like, you know, like I can't do Aang. Like, you know, he's like played by a 10-year-old kid, but
I could grab your balls if you wanted.
No.
He thought about it. Okay.
Thought about no, like, you know, Aang is like, it's like, I don't know what to do. I don't know. Like, I'm stuck here. And then, like, the whole world's burning. And I gotta stop Zuko. And I gotta do all this stuff. And then, like, Roku always is like,
It is not your fault the world is this way. I did it. I did all of it. Like, it's really mine.
and it's like, are you really just gonna sit here and just tell me everything's your fault? Am I like your evening shift guy when you screw up? You know, like...
It's like, when back in the past, let me tell you about the Fire Lord and how we fought, and then, you know, this whole thing blew up kind of because it was my fault, and now, Aang, you have the destiny of cleaning up after my spilt milk.
Avatar Roku's got to get himself into therapy. It's
Yeah.
not his fault. His best
It's always
friend sets him
always
on
his
fire.
fault. Like,
He's got to let that negative thinking go.
that's the whole Avatar lineage. Like, I kind of fucked up.
Because of destiny.
Yeah.
It kind of reminds me of, like, talking to my parents. Both of my parents are, like, firmly baby boomers. And I'll be complaining about, you know, student loans or rent or whatever.
Right.
And they go, you know, it's totally our fault. We fucked everything up. I'm like, that doesn't help me. I'm just kind of sitting here being like, it's not even cathartic at this point.
Kind of helps me a little bit.
Maybe, but just the kind, I'm like, do something, you know?
Those two specifically.
No, not those two, but
Fix
just...
it.
It's like, you don't get the right to do nothing just because
Avatar
you're
Roku
old,
is
all right?
dead.
Like,
I mean,
Just guilt and...
Okay, at least Avatar Roku helped out Aang a few times. He
did.
Yeah. So it's not like he's doing nothing because you're dead. There's not really much you can do, but
no, but it's just like
it just doesn't
everything
make
see.
you feel better.
Right, yeah, it's like, you know, Roku, this isn't really helping me. Like, you know, it'd be
Listen,
cool.
I can only comfort you so many times through this guilt situation. All
Yeah,
right, let's-
and he was a firebender. Why didn't he warn Aang about, like, all the stuff that would happen? Like, oh, by the way, when there's an eclipse, you know, firebenders, we kind of lose our powers. Maybe that's a good time to attack.
Oh,
why didn't he help him? Like,
Why was an Avatar Roku just like, by the way, I've spent the last 100 years where I have apparently the ability to manipulate objects in the spirit world. I wrote this 100-point stop the war plan. It's all nicely organized for you. Here you go.
it's like, look, here's everything you need to know about,
You're going to enter from this hole in the palace. You're going to go underneath. No one's going to be there from these times.
Actually, that's a good. Why didn't Avatar Roku grew up with the Fire Lord as like a best friend? Why wasn't he like, Aang, you must enter from this hole?
that's pretty good.
There's a secret hallway for the servants. You can sneak in because they never look the servants in the eye.
It's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
All right.
God damn it, Roku.
keep
Just kept
moving.
messing up.
Yeah.
All right, you truly are an eternal optimist. Roku's sighed, prompting Iroh to turn toward him with a questioning look on his face. Were you about to say something, Avatar Roku? Oh. He glanced the Roku voice. He glanced at Aang quickly, who just shrugged. No, nothing at all. I'm getting the hang of this Roku voice. It's good.
You're pretty, yeah, you have to be breathy, and
I'm liking
you have
it.
to get in the head. Yeah.
Yeah.
You got it. Just even more.
There! Aang pointed ahead. I see Yang Chen. Maybe we could talk to her first? Good idea. Iroh nodded. She certainly is the most flexible out of the three of them. She is an air nomad after all, Aang grinned. I'm sure she will understand. Roku and Iroh looked at Aang simultaneously with sympathetic expressions.
Iroh is here. I couldn't remember if I was in the room, but no, he is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's there. What? Aang looked from Iroh to Roku to Iroh again. Aang, Iroh began softly, what wisdom did Yang Chen impart to you before you faced my brother? She said that as an avatar, I should sacrifice my own spiritual needs and do whatever it takes to fulfill my duty. Exactly, Roku stated with a sigh. No. Aang shook his head with a nervous smile. She wouldn't. She's a monk. She wouldn't support Kyoshi's. Wouldn't she, though? But Iroh and Roku tilted their heads and looked at him. Wouldn't she? It doesn't say which one is saying it.
Is Kyoshi doing something bad?
So Kyoshi and Yang Chen are mad about something. Kuruk was smoking a joint with Roku, and now he's not there anymore. They just dropped him from the scene, or they left Kuruk behind.
I think he was just chilling. Maybe.
Yeah. So,
all right.
Oh, so they left him behind to go find out what's going on.
Everyone in this story is just chilling.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, it is the spirit world, so
they're chilling in a real anxious way.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm like, okay, let's. I don't know what's going on.
Well, it's good because it's your turn.
Okay. Okay. What? Where are we at?
There's that line, so just right below that line.
Yang Chen.
Yeah, Yang Chen.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh yeah. Oh, this is Iroh. So Iroh's like,
Yang Chen.
Iroh bowed to the monk as she stood near the portal. Yang Chen turned around and was surprised to see all three of the men that stood before her. Hello, Iroh. Why are you all... Oh. A smirk spread across her face. I should have known Aang would bring you here to stop. Just then, they heard screams emanating from the portal. Within seconds... Oh, now we're getting somewhere. Within seconds, three figures emerged through the shining light. As they stepped into the spirit world, it became clear that the screaming figure was being dragged along by the other two figures. Let me go! The struggling figure yelled.
Oh, my spirits,
Roku gasped. They really did it! Aang covered his mouth. Did what? Iroh looked confused. They're really forcefully dragging the current, Roku replied, but was interrupted by another loud scream. I am the Avatar, and you can't... The figure raged. ... Avatar into the spirit world. Aang finished Roku's sentence. Shut the fuck up, Korra growled as they finally deposited their victim on the ground a few feet from the three men.
What?
I could see that for Korra. We just couldn't see it in the kids' show.
What?
No, Korra? Oh, no.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
got
Korra.
mixed up with Kyoshi for a second. Korra? Okay.
Yeah, Korra was the Avatar.
After
Yeah. So I could see her saying "fuck," I guess, but it's very jarring just to know that.
This is her first line of the whole.
Shut the fuck up is the first thing we hear from Korra.
Coming in pretty strong, Korra.
Yeah.
What did you think about Legend of Korra?
Didn't watch it.
Wasn't
interested.
I liked it.
The first season was really good. I liked it.
Actually, it's the third worst.
It's the third
worst of the four seasons.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Your opinion's wrong, Nick.
Yeah.
Did
No,
you
it's
not?
No, not that it's wrong. Okay, season 3 is like a fucking banger, and season 4 is also a banger.
Season 3 was that was the bad Airbender.
The bad
I
Airbender,
should
yeah.
watch
You know, that
it.
one was
Sometimes
good.
I'm just
Yeah,
like,
that one was
I want to
good.
watch the characters I already like, though. But then that's what fanfiction is for, isn't it? I should just watch Korra, too.
Yeah.
It's
I take it back.
different.
I like the third season better. I take it back.
I mean, you can disagree with me.
No,
Okay.
I just like the idea of someone saying, "Oh, airbending, bending is bad." You know, like we don't have to airbend anymore or firebend. Like they're doing it to oppress us. I thought like that as a whole was an interesting idea.
Yeah.
But he turns out to be, spoiler alert. Mao, is that his name? What was his name of the bad guy? Was it Mao?
Tarlok?
Tarlok. Yeah, Tarlok was like he.
No, sorry. Noatak is the bad guy. Tarlok is like a minor villain.
Yeah, the guy with the mask. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, I don't
Turns
know
out to
the
be what?
name of who it is, but it's
What?
Turns out to be what?
Turns out
He turned out to be a waterbender, like in
Yeah.
the first season. Yeah,
I love spoilers. This probably won't motivate me more to watch the show.
yeah. But
I
it's,
get the feeling we should probably put like a blanket spoiler alert because we're going to be talking about whatever.
Spoiler alert for the 2006 classic Avatar:
Yeah.
The Last Airbender.
Yeah, the Korra was like 2012 or something like that. Like it was still it was like a few years ago that it ended.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, it was all right. It was just I just think there was no real clear goal in the show. Like in the first Avatar was like it was
You
one
gotta
clear
save
goal.
the world.
You gotta bend all four elements. You gotta learn them all before the comet comes and the Fire Nation destroys everything. Simple task. That's all you're doing. You're learning the elements. right off the bat on Korra, she already knows how to firebend, waterbend, and earthbend immediately, but she doesn't know how to airbend. And it's she has to go to Aang's son.
I did like that they weren't good parents. Because in most fan fictions, all the characters that you're going to see are going to be great parents because it's going to be kids writing the parents they want to have. It is what it is. And I thought it was really realistic in the core to have them be bad parents.
They're not that bad parents.
They're flawed, though.
They're flawed,
which would make sense because they were raised without parents. They're just kind of stumbling along.
Yeah, because they're the kids of the Avatar. The thing with Korra is that instead of having the I need to do this and that's what the show's about, it's I have the ability to be an avatar, now I have to kind of govern, I guess. So all right, do you guys know about Otto von Bismarck?
Nope.
All right, so he was a diplomat for Prussia before it was Germany, and he basically helped make it so that Prussia was a bunch of squabbling states into the country of Germany in the 19th century. So his biggest problem was that he was really fucking good at political intrigue and setting up the dominoes 8 moves ahead and that kind of thing. But once he got Germany united into one country, it was just kind of well, now what? The dog caught the car. So that's kind of what Korra is it's I have the ability to be an avatar, but nothing's that easy. I still have shit to do.
Yeah, nothing seems like it was earned. Aang earned all those elements that he had to learn. They gave you time to learn about the world, and and then the final confrontation you see, it's a one big
so
show.
good.
But
we have to read a thing. Okay, back to the fan fiction. I'm going to start with this Korra. Shut the fuck up! Korra growled as they finally deposited their victim on the ground a few feet from the 3 men.
Oh no, Iroh gulped. So this is what you wanted us to stop them from doing?
Yep, Roko and Aang replied together.
That's really hard. Here, let's do yep on 3. 1, 2. Yep.
Yep.
Oh, Nick.
And what exactly are they?
Well, Kyoshi heard that.
Roku began, but was interrupted once more. How dare you to tell me to shut up? I'm the Avatar! You are a tyrant, not an Avatar! Kyoshi's voice boomed. The self-proclaimed Avatar shuddered in fright and cowered under her angry glare.
How many people do we have in the room at this point?
I lost track.
We have
all the avatars and Iroh.
Okay,
maybe not Curran.
Okay, so we have Korra, Aang,
Yang-Chen's there, Kyoshi's there, Korra's there,
Roku's
Aang's there, Iroh's there, Roku's there.
And
6,
3
maybe
people.
7. Who are the 3?
I don't know.
3 people are just hanging out.
Yeah.
And maybe Curran is there, so 9 or 10.
Wow. How do you keep track of this in books and stuff?
I don't know. I think this is why with this fan fiction I'm already getting confused. What's happening? This would be better as a graphic novel.
You know what the worst part is? We're reading this to somebody, so somebody is hearing this in their headphones and they're going, I don't know what the fuck's going on either.
You know what the worst thing is that I was promised a bad avatar, yet here I sit. Sounds like hundreds of words later. No bad avatar.
Yeah, it's get on with it. What's happening,
Okay.
Okay.
Let's get on with it.
Let's get on with it. That the current avatar went. Oh wait, hold on. The self-proclaimed avatar shuddered in fright and cowered under her angry glare.
That the current avatar went rogue,
Roku finished.
Rogue?
Iroh raised an eyebrow as they watched Kyoshi bend over the scared boy. How dare you use your avatar powers for evil? Kyoshi roared. There's a question mark here, not an exclamation point. Kyoshi roared as she grabbed his collar and shook him like a wet rag cloth.
Ooh.
I'm the Avatar, and I can do whatever. Before the boy could say anything else, a fist flew at his face and made contact with his stubborn jaw.
He's been using his Avatar powers to wage war in the human world,
Roku exclaimed to Iroh, and all 3 men gulped. So Kyoshi went all, Kyoshi on it, Aang muttered. They watched helplessly as Kyoshi's famed large foot thundered towards the boy and sent him flying back several feet. When has Kyoshi's famed large foot ever
all
been
the
a thing?
time. She
In-
split the island away from.
There's like a whole
She's canonically got big feet.
yeah.
Oh.
The,
Stomps down, she crushes Earth.
the largest of any avatar, I believe.
right.
Yeah,
Gosh.
she's like huge.
I like
And-
that you and I just instantly like,
Yeah.
oh man, do you don't
Yeah.
remember her big feet?
I don't know.
No, she like.
I remember how she she kicked the Kyoshi Island. She did that.
Yeah,
And
she split it off from the mainland.
I remember that.
She's also she also apparently lived 230 years, which is crazy to me.
Weird, yeah.
Yeah, I think it was due to a mathematical error when they were like trying to be like, here are the avatars beforehand, and they're like, oh fuck, there's a huge stretch of time we didn't account for. Kyoshi's 230. Yeah, that's what's happening.
And then finally she got her driver's license through the mail.
Something
Like after
like that.
230 years.
I'm actually curious what happens like if a geriatric avatar has to be pretty useless, right?
I mean, I don't know.
So like Roku's in the show when he dies, he's like what 80 something,
Yeah,
70
why
something.
shoot forever? That's weird.
He's old. But for someone to live 230 years, even in a show where you have like super old people, you'd think by like 200 they're like, we can kind of do whatever we want. Because, like, yeah, she can bend every element, but she also has a life alert around her neck.
It could just be that they had to do the stretch. There's two things in the Avatar universe that is just like a writing error, and I love them so much. Like, there was a really big fan theory back when Avatar was first going on that the Avatar world was flat. That was a huge fan theory that
Really?
everybody... Yeah. And it drove the creators I watched all of the... took the time, I read the stuff, and I watched, like, all of the... They would do these, and the DVD specials. They
Yeah.
would do the episode with the creators talking about it in the background. It was great.
Commentaries?
Yeah, commentaries. There's the word. But they couldn't understand. Like, people kept asking them if the Avatar world was flat, and they got asked the question at a convention. They were like, "Why do people keep asking us this?" And some kid was like, "Well, in the first season, you have them go from the South Pole to the North Pole, is it that way around, right?
Yeah.
And it stays the same time of year. So the only way for that to happen, if they go from the South Pole to the North Pole into the same season, is if the world is flat." And the writers were like, "We did not consider that when we had them go."
Who would consider that? Oh no, guys! The whole scene about the fight
They
in the
forgot
north.
about how Australia's the other way around.
Yeah.
They forgot.
It's all no.
Or
It has to
just
be
the
daytime.
Southern hemisphere.
It has to be no. Butt cheek 64 said that it's not right. You
so
know.
they didn't consider it, and so there were dozens of people that were like, "Well, clearly the world. They're geniuses who would never overlook something like this. So clearly the world is flat in this world."
God,
I mean, also,
I hate the internet.
the map that they have for the Avatar world is flat.
Yeah.
Which, sure.
So that
and
was one
also-
overlook that they did. And then my other favorite one was that, you remember when they go to the Ba Sing Se and they have to go the long, dangerous way around because their new refugee friends got all their belongings stolen.
Yeah.
And I was listening to the commentary with the creator, and the creator realized that they had forgotten to erase the refugees' backpacks. And so their whole plot was that they had had all their belongings stolen, except for these two backpacks now.
Yeah.
And he realized that they'd forgotten to erase the backpacks, like, during the DVD specials, so
Yeah.
months and years beyond when you can do anything to stop it. And I
Yeah.
love the fact that they just forgot.
I assumed it was like their passports were taken when I saw the backpacks.
No, it's
I
supposed
was
to be
like,
all their
oh,
belongings,
all their stuff.
except for these two backpacks.
I wish that on like Netflix and stuff, you can turn on closed captions. You can change the language. Why don't they have like a commentary option?
That would be nice to have the DVD specials on there, yeah.
Or
I guess
not
you
even the
gotta put
DVD special. Like even for
Well, that's where that goes.
Yeah, but like even for Netflix originals, you should just have a thing where like just a little menu
There should be a
pop up.
bonus.
Yeah, pop up. Like maybe if you want, you could have that as like another tier of payment, kind of like you can
That
do.
would be super nice. No, I think that just
Yeah.
should be a bonus where you have one episode that's commentated on.
Yeah.
All right, that I'm not gonna.
Ah.
That's my distraction for you guys.
We're supposed to get distracted
Yeah,
because of this terrible.
having a
There's
hard
a lot
time.
more story left.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. The boy before the boy could say anything else, a fist flew at his comment. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Before the boy could say anything else, a fist flew at his face and made contact with his stubborn jaw. Oh no, I already said that.
So this is the bad avatar. It's a boy, and
Yeah.
he's here now. Okay.
Yeah.
He's
They
in
watched-
the spirit world.
Yeah, they watched helplessly as Kyoshi's famed large foot thundered towards the boy and sent him flying back several feet. Korra! Kyoshi commanded. Without needing more words, Korra nodded and pinned the disoriented boy down. And what about Korra? Oh.
And what about Korra?
Iroh asked, perplexed. You know Korra, Aang sighed. Show him, Kyoshi! Korra spurred the livid woman. Teach him a lesson! She loves a good fight, Aang finished and dragged his hand down his face. I really thought I had made progress with her in our meditation sessions.
It looks like she's been spending more time training with Kyoshi than meditating with you.
Roku pointed in their direction. Korra kept the boy pinned down.
Roku is my favorite character in this story.
Korra kept the boy pinned down as Kyoshi yelled curses and threats at him, sprinkled with punches and slaps. How fucking dare you taint the name of the Avatar and of the Earth Kingdom, you spawn of Chin's filthy groin! Korra growled as she tightened her chokehold on the boy. Korra does not talk like this.
No, she doesn't.
She does now.
No, she actually. It's what's funny is that you kind of sound like Korra a little bit.
Oh, do I?
Yeah, she's kind of like she's a little like sarcastic, like a little bit like that, like hey, I'm Korra. What's it going?
Oh, perfect.
You know?
Good.
The most concerning thing about this story is that the famed large foot. I'm imagining
I love
Kyoshi's
that.
foot came detached and like ran the guy down by itself.
That would be amazing to see. Just go gadget foot.
Go. The powers of the Avatar were wasted on you fools. The boy spat out. I am going to change the world. Before he could finish, swear to God, that's what it says.
No fucking
I'm going
way.
to change the world. SMKJDNDCUGHFGGD. I swear to God, that's what it said. I'm going to change the world. Before he could finish, Kyoshi had shoved her extra large shoe in his mouth.
Oh.
Suck on that, dickwad.
Oh,
What?
Wow.
You can't. I will. The boy struggled to speak. What? Korra smirked and leaned in closer. Can't hear you. He's being covered. Okay, his voice is muffled.
With
Okay.
her foot?
She lifted his hand and began slapping his face with it. Why are you hitting yourself? Stop hitting yourself. Why are you hitting yourself? Korra giggled as she repeatedly smacked his face all over with his own hands.
This is the bridge between the spirit world and the human world
Yes.
that
They're really
keeps
taking
balance
him down.
between all of humanity. And she's doing the why are you hitting yourself?
This is a good scene.
It's pretty fun.
Enough, Korra. Kyoshi stepped back and glared at the boy. Oh, sorry, Kyoshi. I was just... No, I mean stop so I can get in a few. She rolled up her sleeves. Yang Chen, come here.
Yang Chen?
Yang
The
Chen...
peaceful monk?
Yang
It's about
Chen...
to go down.
Oh, yeah. Yang Chen rolled her eyes and rushed down to the women. Iroh, Roku, and Aang decided to take advantage of the break and followed her to Kyoshi. Hold my fans. She removed the ordnate fans and placed them in Yang Chen's hands. All right.
How does she have fans? They're spirits. They don't have like.
They have possessions
Stuff.
in this world. They were drinking the tea. They
Yeah,
were smoking the joint.
yeah.
This is
They got clothes.
I mean, I assume clothes.
What I'm more
were, like-
curious about is why Roku is always an old man, while Kyoshi, and this is like a flaw across the whole thing, I'm realizing, who was 230, always young. That makes sense.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. It's just I feel like this is the slowest beating I've ever seen.
All right, he's getting his face slapped. She put her fans down.
Yeah. Okay, let's see what happens next. All right, but I'm next. Yang Chen huffled and eyed the boy.
Ladies, I don't think this is the best way.
Roku began reasoning. Just back off, Roku.
Well, I tried.
Roku shrugged. That's not something you would say.
So quickly.
I tried.
He's the Avatar.
Your turn. He gestured to Aang. Aang stepped forward hesitantly. Kyoshi, maybe we should talk about this before... Hey! Korra barked. Are we doing this or what? Step aside, guru goody goody. Okay, now she sounds like Korra.
Who told you about that nickname?
It was Zuko, was it? No. Who told you about that nickname? It was Zuko, wasn't it? All right.
All right.
Iroh chuckled and stepped forward.
Let's all calm down and think about this with a calm mind. I know the perfect thing for that.
A nice hot cup of... If you say tea, I swear to Ko, I will... Kyoshi began, but paused when Iroh backed away and didn't insist anymore. Hold my ornamental headpiece. Kyoshi... Just beat him up already.
Yang Chen's not your, holder, man. Just set it down on the spirit floor.
I know, right? Kyoshi handed it to Roku and then pulled out her earrings. Here, hold these two. All right, now you... Oh, my God.
Just fucking fight her naked if that's how it's
fight?
going to be. Yeah.
Here, Atlas, hold this. I give you my
I'm
fucking
gonna
pants.
kill you. Hang on a second, though.
I'm gonna swear I'm
Don't
gonna kill
attack
you.
me during this 5 minutes it takes me to take off all my stuff. So just hang out here.
Okay. All right, now you, Kiyoshi pointed at the young boy who was still in the clutches of Korra. You listen to me good, you little bitch.
Fuck.
She grabbed him by the collar and yanked him straight off the ground and dangled him several feet up in the air. If I catch you behaving like a little fuckboy back in the human world one more time, she growled as she shook him violently, I will drag you all over the Earth Kingdom like a mud slug, you worthless discarded pubic hair.
Fuck boy?
I love it that she said
love
fuck
it.
boy.
I don't.
Kyoshi narrowed
Love
her...
it.
What?
No, I
Nope,
just love it.
disagreeing with each other. That's
Oh
it.
yeah, and that's
Yeah.
the cute pubic hair. This is okay. Kyoshi narrowed her eyes at the now sobbing boy and threw him up in the air. As he came back to the ground, Aang shrieked in terror. Kyoshi stamped hard into the ground with her enormous feet and cracked the hole open.
I think this kid has a foot fetish, whoever wrote this.
This kid...
Bringing it up a lot.
Also, we don't know why he's bad. They're just beating the
Yeah,
shit out of the
yes.
Avatar for no
He's
reason.
using his powers to create war.
But
And from his eyes, he's creating change. But it feels like just a Fire Lord situation. I've been listening.
Wow, you've been dead.
Yeah.
Wow.
but
Okay.
but we also don't really know if that's true. That's just from the other avatars.
Yeah,
you
but
know?
they didn't hammer it
has.
home. Like they didn't make
No,
me,
it
like,
wasn't
agree.
super clear what he's doing, but abstractly,
Yeah,
war.
sure.
A lot of this is just describing the beatdown. Like, oh, you're gonna
I'm
get
into
it.
it.
You're gonna get it.
I hope they can do a slam fight.
Yeah,
Love that.
yeah. Where did I leave off? The boy fell in, and only part of him free to move was his head. Aang squatted down to the ground and held his head in his hands. I thought he was going to take a crap on him. Iroh and Roku covered their eyes partially, cringing at the fresh onslaught of curses and threats. This time Yang Chen got in on the fun. Their attention was drawn away from the torture session when a cheerful voice spoke behind him. Well, looks like there's a party going on here. They turned around together and saw a grinning Wan saunter towards them. Oh, it's the first Avatar.
Yeah, the first Avatar.
Followed by a bemused Kurik.
His name is Juan?
His name is Wan.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, how is it spelled?
WAN.
Ah.
Yeah.
And I wasn't invited until Kuro told me about it, he pounded teasingly. Wan! Aang exclaimed and smiled in relief. Thank the spirits you're here. Somebody needs to stop. Don't worry, I'm here. Wan took off his sling bag and handed it to Roku with a wink. I'ma handle this. He took one long... That's how it's
What
said.
do they need to be carrying? Fucking phone charger?
Yeah, this
It's
is the spirit world.
I mean, there's also another like major plot point in Korra that this entire story shouldn't be happening, but it's fan fiction, so fuck it.
Right.
That's right.
He took one long drag and handed it to joint to Kuruk. Satisfied, he strutted towards the women who were still abusing the boy. Kyoshi, my warrior, he waved as he neared them. Kyoshi, Korra, you beast you. And Yang Chen, you badass nomad. Kyoshi popped her head in this direction to acknowledge him. Hey.
Juan sounds like a gay guy, doesn't he?
Just slinging
Juan was gay?
compliments.
No, he sounds gay.
Oh, I'm just-
he's like, Kyoshi, you beast, you.
You beast, you. Oh my god, you're so good with those bending. Those feet. So big. How about you step aside and take a break, huh? Let me have a little chat with him. Do you even know? This is like a WWE wrestling match. Like, you get out of there. Oh, let me get in there.
Spoiler for a future episode.
We're gonna teach this kid that war and fighting is bad by kicking his ass.
How about you step aside? Let me take a break. Do you ever know what he did? Kyoshi crossed her arms across her chest. He started a new fucking war all over again. What? I just love that line. Yeah, the little fucktard thinks being the Avatar makes him some sort of god who deserves to rule the world, Korra grunted. And you know the worst part? Kyoshi flared her nostrils. Because of his dick move, Rava is dying inside him. He is weakening her, and the Vatu inside her is beginning to grow. Wan paused and gazed at the frightened boy. He scratched his chin and looked at Roku, Aang and Iroh, and then back at Kyoshi, Korra, and Yang Chen. Let me try. Wan finally spoke up and stretched his arms as if just waking up from a deep slump. We get it! Fine, Kyoshi threw her arms up. But before walking away, she yanked the boy's ear and whispered into it. This isn't over, you sacky ballsack. I'll be back.
It's a lot of
A lot of rare
colorful
insults coming
here.
from this, yeah.
From the spirits.
Yeah.
Okay.
Me too. Korra smacked the back of his head as she followed Kyoshi happily. Phew! Aang stood up again, visibly relieved. Juan will do this the right way. I said that weird. Juan will do this the right way. Juan smiled as the spectators reassuringly and walked over to the trapped boy. He grabbed him and in one fell swoop pulled him out of the hole. Thank you, the boy stuttered. Now look here. Juan dusted his clothes and smiled at him. That was a pretty dick move. In
Avatar culture, this is considered a dick move.
Nice. The boy straightened up and Juan could see mustering up the last shreds of his strength. I know you can bend here because you came through the portal. Juan smiled wider and held him by the shoulders. But here's the deal. I'm the first Avatar. I received my powers from the lion turtles back when the human and spirit worlds were one. He leaned in closer and patted the boy's cheeks and whispered, the rules don't apply to me. Without any warning, Juan caught him by the collar and jumped up in the air on an air fountain as they lingered several feet above the others. He began slapping the boy silly.
I knew I'd get my slap fine.
Yes! We got it. This is for thinking you're better than the others, he smacked his face. This is for starting the war. He dropped him and only caught him mere inches off the ground with another air ball. And this, he called out as he bounced him back up, is for Rava. With that, Juan kept spinning the boy inside a sphere of crazy wind. He descended back to the ground as the boy screamed for help. He dusted his hands and walked back to the group. Aang and Roku stood with open mouths in disbelief. Roku and Yang Chen looked impressed. Korra and Kyoshi grinned in approval and high-fived him as he stood by them.
Why did Iroh need to come?
He didn't.
He wasn't. He's not
I like how he did that just to show these are the people that are still here.
Yeah. They're still here. Whoa, Kuruk gasped. Does anyone else see a spinning human in the air? If not, this is some amazing shit. Bro, Juan smirked. You're not imagining that. Bro.
I'm from the year 100. Bro.
Bro. Whoa, Kuruk smacked his forehead and sat down. All right, Juan bowed. My work here is done. Wait, how are we going to get him down? Aang exclaimed. Oh, you want him back down? I can do that. Yes, please, Aang sighed. With a flick of his wrist, Juan dissipated the spinning world and Aang watched in horror as the boy landed on the ground with a thud. Let's see him conquer the world now. Can we take back his avatar powers? Korra asked. Oh, I don't think we need to bother, Juan smiled smugly. They saw a shimmering glow all around the boy, lifting up and rising higher. It slowly began taking a shape and soon Rava emerged. Thank you, avatars, a soft voice echoed from the spirit. Clearly, I misjudged this fucker.
It goes well with the voice.
Dude, imagine if like the Sorting Hat from Harry Potter.
Who's Rava?
Rava is like the quote Avatar spirit. Like when their eyes glow.
She picks the new. She's the. I get it.
She's the
essence of the Avatar.
Yeah. So when
she says "fuck her," okay.
So when you die, when the Avatar dies, Rava leaves the body and goes to the next.
Weird.
Yeah,
okay.
They basically midi-chlorianed the whole Avatar thing.
I like it.
Yeah, so thank Legend of Korra for that.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Thank you, clearly I misjudged this fucker. With that, she tilted towards the body and lashed out at it with her tall tail, zapping it with an electricity-like jolt. Wake up, dumbass. Rava turned him over. The boy groaned and attempted to sit. Good, you're not dead, Rava spoke. So this is what counts for omnipotence these days? Now get your sorry ass back to the human world, and if we ever see you trying to pull off a stunt like that ever again, Kyoshi won't hesitate to whip your air hole. Me too, Korra chimed in. Yes, and Korra won't hesitate to chop off your tiny little Rava! Aang shrieked.
This
I think
is
he gets
too far. This is, for everything we've heard so far, that has to be censored.
Aang is such a little prude. Jeez. The guy almost, Fine, Rava, Aang shrieked. I think he gets the point. Fine, now get! Rava pushed the boy back towards the portal. I better go too, Rava sighed. Time to find a new avatar. Everyone watched them leave, and then joined Kuruk on the ground. They sat in silence as Kuruk lit another joint and passed it around. Kyoshi, Juan, Korra, and Yang Chen took drags and then passed it to Roku. Roku shrugged and took a small drag and passed it to Iroh.
No thanks, I'm good. No. No, thank you. I'm very good.
Iroh smiled as he shook his head.
One way or another, I guess that boy learned his lesson.
He chuckled. Roku leaned over and offered the blunt to Aang, who was staring gloomily at the portal. He looked at the glimmering embers hanging off the edge of the joint. He glanced at the satisfied faces. Fuck it. He took the joint and leaned back, taking in the soothing smoke. And that's the end of the story.
I love it. Weed's had such a bigger role than I thought.
Okay, so everybody is smoking. The weed has nothing to do with the story.
I'm gonna put this writer's age at 15.
Yeah.
Somebody who just started to do curse words and smoke weed.
Yeah. Definitely.
And needed to bring it into their favorite show.
Yeah.
That was an adventure.
It was an adventure.
That was an adventure.
That was a no holds bar. The summary should have been, let's watch all the former avatars beat this kid's ass.
Yeah, which is like, it was basically just if you turned Street Fighter into a TV show.
I would love that. Oh, I thought I would like to play Street Fighter with the avatars as this fighter.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I would play a video game like that.
Absolutely, I would.
Yeah, where it's like Kyoshi OP, please nerf.
But the opponent in this one was a powerless child.
Yeah, and
Right.
you never see him fight back. He's just like,
He
the
has
whole
no
time.
powers.
Well, before that, even. Because, like,
Uh,
if he's powerful enough to make war as the Avatar and he's, like, all proud about it, then you'd think that he would, I don't know, try and defend himself.
I thought it was more of this is a kid who has unparalleled power, but now this is the one situation where the tables have turned.
Right. But, like, you'd think he would at least do something. He just kind of gets his ass beat without,
right.
like, doesn't throw a rock, doesn't...
This is
Like, Juan even...
disappointing.
Yeah, Juan even goes, I know you can bend because you came in through the portal, but he
They
doesn't
said
bend.
You can't bend.
You can bend.
Oh, I
Yeah,
drastically
so-
misunderstood it. Yeah, then that's real weird. He
Yeah.
had no fighting him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How would
Coward.
you punch this up?
Yeah. So yes, Kat, how would you punch this story up? How
So
would you
he
fix it?
tries to fight, and then it's just a pinball avatar situation where it's like bam, bam, they punch him to the next avatar. So, but initially there's a battle. He thinks he can take him because he's an arrogant. I don't know how old he is in the story, but he sounds like 14.
We don't even know what he looks like.
Yeah, he's arrogant. I didn't realize he was there for a while. He just suddenly was, and then Iroh pours tea on him at the end. Just simmer down.
Simmer down. You look like you need some tea.
Burns his face.
That's a roast, man.
I like how Roku and Aang are just like, I don't know.
I love that the guys are staying out of it.
Yeah.
Like it's
And
like
then
they're kind of like
it's all Yang Chen, Korra, and Kyoshi.
Yang Chen didn't deserve that bad. Yang Chen, lot of virtues. Love
Yeah.
her, but she's not a fighter.
Yeah.
Not the kind of compliment.
yeah.
I don't know. I think what bothered me the most about this story was that, like, you literally could have had them beating up a fucking punching bag.
Oh yeah.
There was
Definitely.
we knew nothing about him.
Nothing was learned. Nothing was gained.
Yeah.
It was just a Super Smash Brothers brawl.
Dude.
It had a
episode.
couple of my favorite
play
bad
that.
writing tropes. It had it where everyone talked the exact same way with a lot of cursing.
It wa-
Always fun.
It was also that's why I was so worried in the early stages where I was reading. I'm like, how do you know who the fuck is
Right.
talking, even reading it?
He had the thing where people telepathically have a
Yeah.
conversation with just their eyes.
You know.
Like, did he?
Hey, what's up?
Yeah. So I think that about does it for this episode.
Yay!
Kat Moore, thank you for
Thank
being
you.
on with
Thank
us.
you guys for having me. I had a lot of fun.
Where can people find you out there?
You can find me. I'm a comedian. You can find me at This Is Kat Moore. That's my Instagram handle and my Twitter handle. I'm here in Los Angeles, so definitely come out and see. I do a show that's half improv, half stand-up. So last time on our show, the improv team spit in each other's mouths. So if you want to come out and see a wild time, follow me and see what the next one is.
What
Yeah.
the fuck?
Yeah.
Nice.
They spit in each other's mouths.
They started my show by spitting each other's mouths.
I mean, you probably could have put them spitting in the kid's mouth in the story. I feel like that would have worked, you know?
Should have been in there, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Thanks for having me on, though, guys.
No problem. Nick, what about you?
You can find me at Millennial Comic on Instagram. That's where I do all my wacky voices, and I post most of my stand-up, and that's me.
Real quick before I forget, this is Kat Moore. Kat is with a K.
Yes.
That's important.
We will also put your doobly-doo
I appreciate that. Put it in the
in
comments.
the show notes. Yeah. You can find me personally at Atlas Novak on Twitter or Instagram. You can also find my other podcast, Nexus at Night, for the Cardfight Vanguard trading card game, because dork. And you can find this podcast at Bad Reading Pod on Twitter or Instagram. And Flameo, everybody. We'll see you next week. Have a good night, everybody.
Flameo.
Yeah.